Yeah, hello everybody. Really nice to be a part of this community. I've been with the team for more than 3 years or so. Just a little bit of background. Um, on the base level, like we actually started doing we're Chainlink node operators called Vulcan Link. So yeah, we've been running that for quite a few years. So with that, our founder being completely technical, we've built various products. And both Owl Protocol and VeraBridge are products, and very very different features, though. Um, very interlaced together also, and I'm happy to just go over each one really quickly on what can be achieved, etc. Um, yeah, more people joining. Yeah, so with Owl Protocol, this is something we've built for a couple of years, pivoted a few times, but essentially it's more so you can think of it more like an app to app platform. Um, you can build full apps with it, of course, but it's also really good for building quickly, rolling out proof of concepts, to be able to just get something out right away. Essentially, there's like two components to it. The first component is more so on the wallet stack, so very much so like Bentley or Particle Network. It is MPC plus account abstraction, with 4337, and also a social login component. And then, essentially the developer, account and everything, you could log in with emails to start building too. Um, makes it really easy. Let's say you already have a Web2 application with existing users with emails. You can, in a few clicks, create wallets for all these emails seamlessly. And for them, it would be a gas-free experience, etc. Of course, in the back end, we would be the paymasters, and then the companies will pay for the gases eventually. So the wallet component is the first part. What we have that's special is that there's also no vendor lock-in. It's very flexible and highly modular. So people can pick their own NPC providers because certain jurisdictions may require that. And also, the account abstraction API itself can be used to make it gas free for any other wallet on the smart wallet side. On the second component, what we have are more like actionable smart contracts. So think of actions like minting NFTs, doing transactions, updating metadata of NFTs, etc. So and all of these are accessible like through API form. So you can easily set rules where, okay, this specific button or this interaction would create the wallet plus mint an asset or do an airdrop. It's pretty flexible way to do it. And one thing that we do have that nobody else has would be being able to leverage what Zapier has. For about Zapier, if there's folks not quite familiar with that yet, Zapier is more so an API to API automation tool. Currently supports more than 7,000 Web2 applications. So yeah, all the ones you can think of. GitHub, Zoom, Eventbrite, Luma, Patreon. It's a whole list, right? So we are supported by Zapier. So in Zapier's, there's the trigger and the action. So essentially, basically, any APIs that these Web2 apps have that can be set as the action and Owl protocol as the trigger. So for example, what we've done, what people has used us to do is that, like let's say you do a GitHub commit, and bam, like a wallet is automatically created with that email, and like an NFT proof is automatically generated. So that can be done so on all kinds of stuff. Like if you did a purchase on Shopify, if you joined a Zoom event, if you checked it on Luma. So it's like a really easy way to actually directly, almost permissionlessly onboard Web2 users, into Web3, right? And of course, our wallet also you can use iframes to embed it in your web app, So it's like I think the most common use case now would be more so like for Luma check-ins, right? Like folks go to a conference, side events, they check in on Luma, and then they send an email. After the event, the organizers will send an email and hey, you can come to this link or our website, click into the wallet and here's your asset or your tokens. So that yeah, that's more so an owl protocol, and we have like essentially it's completely free of charge up to 1,000 wallets and 100,000 API calls. So for proof of concepts and startups, like yeah, you could yeah, it's pretty much it's all free, right? And even beyond that, like yeah, it's like quite cost effective compared to others that are doing the same. So yeah, that more so that covers most of Owl protocol here, and yeah, if there's any questions or anything, yeah, let me know. I mean, I'm also happy to move on with what we're doing with VeraBridge.
I think there is no questions yet, so we could move on to VeraBridge.
Certainly, certainly. So yeah, VeraBridge is more so like a more recent development, and there's two sides of it. So our team is like very startup-y and hacky by nature. So it really all started last year at Eat Singapore, where we won, I believe it was like two bounties from Hyperlane. So essentially, yeah, VeraBridge. There's VeraBridge and VeraSwap. For VeraBridge, it's actually really straightforward. It's essentially bridging infrastructure. It's like it's a no code bridge deployer. Essentially, so it's not a bridge. The name can be misleading, right? For a bridge, you need liquidity on both chains. And that's a consumer bridge. Or so the step before that, where you will, in a few clicks, deploy a smart contract that's essentially a lock and mint and a unlock and burn smart contract between like many of the 70 chains that we support. So like yeah, we took Hyperlane stack and we made it, no code, easy. You don't got to fund both wallets. It's more so ease of use and speed that we're dealing with. And yeah, with Hyperlane's like infra, they're like much more open source compared to layer zero. Therefore, that's kind of the reason why we built on top of that also. So yeah, that's more so just like the bridge deployment side of things. And yeah, and a big thing that we do like to incentivize projects to use us too is that we actually a big part of business, we would connect projects to chains with grants because I would deal with a lot of chains. There's like different chains looking for different things. So as like a value add, like without any charges, without any fees, we're very open to connecting projects to chains with grants so that the projects would later down the line, if it all works out, use our bridge deployer to make it easy to migrate assets for other. So that's more so VeraBridge. VeraSwap is something new that we're currently building. So, I also hacked it out. Yeah, this year during ETH Denver, won like three bounties. So that's more so like a consumer facing bridge slash no, more so consumer facing swap solution slash bridging alternative. It's like very advantageous if you use it as a bridge in the way that in our way we made it so that one wouldn't have to have liquidity fragmentation, right? All the liquidity can stay on. You only need one LP pool on one chain, and with VeraSwap, for the endpoint user, they can just bridge it to the other chain without any loss due to the lack of liquidity. So yeah, that's more so. Yeah, that's something that's pretty new. It's not fully live yet, but yeah, we've been building that. Yeah, just got into Uniswap incubator also with that. So that's like, yeah, definitely some market validation. And yeah, that's yeah, pretty much what we do and where we're at. Mainly building tooling to make things easier and more accessible, and of course also helping with like connecting with the right chains and ecosystems to help projects grow. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think that's yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, yeah, on my side.
So, if you guys have questions, you can drop it on the chat box or you could open your mic and say so. But for a starter, I have an own question myself. So, I am curious on what are the unique challenges in Web3 development does the OWL protocol have addressed, and how does the solution stand out from others in the industry?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can cover that. Yeah, for both ends. I would say, I mean, with our protocol, we built it quite early, right? Essentially, I mean, in the beginning, we wanted to target, yeah, like enterprise solutions. But yeah, I guess there's quite a lot of challenges, because it's more of a Web 2 to Web 3 narrative. Even now it hasn't quite picked up, I say. But I think its unique selling point would actually be more so the Zapier integration, just because one can, if they wanted to, they could just create wallets like from all the emails, like from all these 7,000 Web 2 apps. It's an easy way to just, yeah, like massively onboard, wallets, into like a project. So I mean that's something that's a unique point that currently no other project has. I mean the wallet stack and the actionables, that's like kind of like a particle network plus third web. But yeah, I think with our flexibility plus Zapier integration, that yeah, it does make it much easier to onboard Web 2 users, no doubt. And yeah, as for VeraBridge, it's more so, most solutions, at least bridge deployers take a bit more time. Yeah, I mean, if you contact Layer Zero or Hyperlane, I mean, and with Hyperlane, if you're like a very good developer, if you're a developer, you could run CLIs and get it going yourself, of course. But like, with Hyperlane or even Chain specifically, it could take like a few weeks. Even like certain chain, I won't mention the name, like, someone waited for a month to be able to get that bridge created. So it's more like ease of accessibility. And our competitive advantage would be all the business or the grant connections we can provide. Because no, I don't think any other bridge deployer currently does it this way. Yeah, this type of go-to-market strategy.
That's nice. This is the next question is actually about looking ahead. Like what are the future trends or innovations in Web3 development? Do you foresee, and how are VeraBridge and ALP protocol preparing to adapt or lead in those areas?
Very much so. Yeah, that's a yeah, great question too. Um, yeah, as for future trends, I mean, I kind of see, yeah, two angles, of course. I mean, there's definitely a lot more, let's say, traditional, enterprise type of, even just chains popping up. Like you can see, like how Kaya and Line has been pushing quite aggressively. Just like that whole narrative of onboarding Web 2 users, like not even them, at least the users not even needing to know that they're on chain. I think that's like something that finally it's slowly starting to pick up. And like, of course, you see Sonium story, these other chains. That's like it's less so of like a Web 3 native angle, but more so of a consumer focus, like DApp slash just app angle. So I mean, I think that is something that, kind of driven by the corporates, even though a bit further from like the original ideology of like, the blockchain revolution, whatnot. The big guys are coming in, and I think there is a bit more. There will start to be more demand there too. Then it's just not about selling blockchain because of blockchain. It's about, selling actual consumer driven products that yeah, but I mean we got clients that, got into the Line ecosystem, and a lot of Web 2 users got onboarded. So it's likely that many other larger companies will see that and try to hop on that. So I think there is a big Web 2 on-chain consumer onboarding angle. As for the latter, more like cross-chain interoperability side of things, I think more so. I think it's definitely most beneficial to projects to pursue like a multi-chain angle. Just as a matter of principle, because different chains have different strengths, and yeah, it's always recommended not to put all your eggs in one basket. So you know it's I think the future is definitely like multi-chain. I mean, it could go either way, right? The other side of that is more like the chain abstraction side of things, where one doesn't even know they're on like what chain they're on, etc. So, but I think in the back end it would still be multi-chain. Yeah, still important to have that flexibility, especially chains that support specific projects. Like in our network, a lot of chains want to onboard like AI specifically. Some is RWA specific. They have their resources. It's best to keep options open and yeah, yeah, go with a more diverse approach. Though some chains will try to lock you in, right? So it's a case by case.
I look forward to that. So, a last question. Can you share a real world example of how VeraBridge and OWL protocol have successfully accelerated in Web3 development for like a business or a project?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with our protocol, yeah, we've had a couple of these with, but I mean, the thing is, like with more traditional companies and conglomerates, usually what they want is you to build them a proof of concept for free, and then they kind of just, stay on a standstill, unfortunately, right? But yeah, I mean, I think one of our biggest cases would be with a subsidiary of Brazilian electric company, where it's more so using our protocol to, create a proof of concept of essentially connecting centralized databases to us to be able to automatically mint on-chain green energy certificates. We have made a proof of concept there. I mean, a lot of it's more rudimentary, like games wanting to go on chain, so they use our wallet stack and our minting mechanisms. More on the Zapier side, yeah, like I said, the most popular use case, POAPs or airdrops directly from Luma check-ins. That's actually, at least right now, that's like the most commonly used use case. As for VeraBridge, VeraSwap's not live yet. VeraBridge, we launched beginning of the year. But yeah, we had undead blocks, create a bridge for their token from ETH to like 8 different chains. I think yeah, Avalanche base. Yeah, there's like 8 chains. Yeah, they move like a few million of their tokens to Ape Chain. We had Opus, which is yeah, AI music related AI agent project that we help them bridge from Story Protocol to like 5 other chains with more liquidity. Um, yeah, and then I mean, as for the yeah general aggregation side, we brought a lot of chains to Hyperlink to get supported so that we can support them. I think close to 10 now. And as for grant aggregation, there's like close to 20 projects that's currently in the pipeline, already in the groups speaking with the chains for, talking about various ways they can tap in and, work together. Whereas VeraBridge would be used, when the collaboration is good and they're locked in. So I guess that's but yeah, I mean, we're still overly like a pretty small team and always try to figure out, what actually sticks in the market, etc. But yeah, we have had a few cases here and there.
Thank you, Harrison. That's all my questions for now. If you guys have questions, you can drop it on the chat box. Harrison, how could participants reach you after this if they have any more questions?
Oh, I would say the easiest way would probably be because I not only am I the lead BD doing all the partnerships, I also do all the marketing. So the easiest way would probably be to follow our Twitter, and yeah, I'll be responsive there. Yeah, absolutely, and that would be at VeraBridge underscore IO. That'd be like because we're mainly pushing VeraBridge now, so I'd be most responsive there at the very least. So yeah, do follow us. We do need more followers. Yeah, we have a pretty small team and it's mostly technical, so it's just you guys know how startups are. But yeah, we've been building, haven't been stopping.
So thank you, Harrison. We learned a lot about VeraBridge and OWL protocol, how VeraBridge is and like advanced technologies for security systems, including um, having enabled secure data transfers while ensuring compliance and, reliability. Before we end things, can we have a quick photo off with you?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yes.
So I would like to request you guys to open your cameras so we could have a photo off.
Lovely.
Okay, one, two, three, smile. Okay, again, one, two, three, smile. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Do share with me that photo.
Sure, we will send it to you. So that is all for our block time. Just a reminder for everyone that there are another sessions for block time around 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. So the 8 p.m. Session is about leading the frontier of hyperparallelism with Faros. That is today at 8 p.m. And interacting with Rice Chain using VM at 9 p.m. today also. Okay, so there, please follow the VeraBridge at X. So Harrison dropped it on the chat box. And
And
of
with any
course, we
questions?
would also like to invite you to an exclusive AMA session hosted by Hirayan Network and The Block. This is an in-person event, features Thomas, head of marketing for APAC, and Mena at Aptos Labs. So it is a cutting-edge layer one blockchain redefines scalability, safety, and decentralization with its visionary approach. So, what to expect are gain insights into the latest developments in the Aptos ecosystem straight from Thomas. And you can ask your burning questions in this interactive session. So, don't miss it out. This is on March 27, Thursday, 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Black Space Makati, Metro Manila. And of course, I already said this earlier, you can get a free NFT in Salio if you have an Salio account. Let me share the QR code so you could guys scan it for an NFT. Okay, here. So if you don't have a Salio account yet, you can create through Salio.quest. You can connect your emails there for easy creation of account. So it's exclusive for this session. And just a little teaser for everyone, there will be a new platform for learning soon. It is called the Black Labs Academy, an initiative focused on blockchain education and innovation. It aims to empower individuals and organizations with knowledge about blockchain technology, offering training, certifications, and development opportunities. So if you guys are done in scanning, I think that is all for block time. Thank you guys. See you again later at 8 p.m. for another session of block time.